All right. All right. Welcome in. You have found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you make good educational decisions on your fantasy football team. I am your humble MC, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, and of course, I'm honored, as always, to introduce, whenever, well, it seems like on the off-season, always. This is my off-season buddy. Yeah, Connor, the Gut Marshall. How you doing, Connor?
I'm doing good, Brian. Thank you for giving me my normal theme song music.
Yeah, I missed it last time. Last time when we did an update, I missed out on it.
I don't think I was wearing my glasses last time.
That's right.
We talked about it before the show. It's not the same without them.
That's right. You didn't have the Maverick look going. Yeah,
it's a mood. It's an aesthetic, and I'm back. Shoot the gap, boys.
That's crazy. All right, okay. This is actually, again, it's a 2-ring show, and yeah, we're back. This is well, not back for doing our weekly shows. We're popping in because there was a lot of news that just happened this past week on the fantasy football front. So I think we need to. Connor and I talked about it. We're like, man, we need to do a show. We need to talk about it. So that is what we are here to do. It's our 108th show, March 11th, in this hopeful year of our Lord. And wow, we have a lot. We have a lot to get to. We have a lot of news to get to, all right? But before we do that, of course, we always like to thank the supporters of the show. I'll go first, man. High Volume Music Radio. Yeah, I'll get High Volume Music in there. Yeah, man. It's a great app. Make sure to download that on, it's a free app, High Volume Music Radio. And you can also check them out on www.highvolumemusicradio.com and also on the Facebook page, man. Make sure to check it out. You get all different types of cool music and great shows like Andrew B's Vocal Sounds, Rock and Roll Radio, Access Granted, Blame It on the Boogie, and Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian. Connor, if it ain't high volume, my brother,
it ain't loud enough.
All right. There you go. Yeah, why don't you take the next one, man? You're pumped up.
Man, I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Sports Hosts. They are the premier sports app for the fan who wants to transcend the troll. And do you know why that is, Brian?
Why is that, my brother?
That's because it's nothing but love on that platform. And man, they talk about every app. They talk about every sport on that app, man. They talk about cricket, long darts, bowling, esports, everything. Not just football, but they do talk about football, and it's a fun time. So download it. The link is in the description below.
Yeah, I think it probably blew up this past week because of the that cricket superstar dying of a heart attack. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, crazy stuff. All right, well, like we said, there's not going to be any games or anything like that. We're going straight news, so let's just jump straight into it.
News is good news. No news is good news. You ain't got any rules if you ain't got any canoes. Ha! I got
Gary Gnu. Yeah, it's been a while since you heard that, right? Yeah. So let's start. Okay, let's start with let's do this. I was going to start with the biggest domino of the off season that fell earlier this week. But those actually some news that broke today. So want to go ahead and let's talk about that just right off the bat and discuss all the ramifications and everything like that. So who are we talking about? We are in Houston. So, of course, we're talking about
Can't touch this.
Deshaun Watson. Okay, yeah. So he had his trial today with the Texas grand jury. And this was to decide if they were going to put criminal charges on him, and they decided not to. Okay, so he basically is now only dealing with civic charges, which is a lot different than criminal charges, at least in the eye of the NFL, not in the eyes of humanity, but in the eyes of the NFL.
Some humanity.
It's different. It's different. So basically now he has the green light. Looks like it's the green light to get traded now. That was the thing that they were all waiting on. So Connor, talk about it, man. What do you think that does?
Dream, man.
Does to the landscape?
Obviously, whatever team he's going to is going to be awesome.
Okay.
As a Houston Texans fan, I would hate to see him go to the Colts. As a fantasy football fan, I would also hate to see him go to the Colts.
Rumor has it that he's actually Seattle is the one making goo goo
Yeah,
eyes.
I like Seattle, and then I also like Pittsburgh. They seem like a team that can really, shrug off a sexual misconduct allegation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Still
not
gonna
wrong.
get my
You're not
kicks
wrong.
in somehow.
No, you got it. But you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And that's you went for it, dude, because it's pretty much the only one of the only ones situations you could do that. So good job, good on you, man. Good on you. Still got
Yeah,
your chops.
Seattle would be. Yeah,
Yeah.
always chops will always be there, guys. On every show, I'm not here. I'm football players run drills. I run conversation drills and try to think of a way to sneak in my like 3 agendas I have. But in all seriousness, Seattle would be a good destination. Deshaun Watson is one of the few quarterbacks who probably is better at running around and making something out of nothing than Russell Wilson. So Pete Carroll would love him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay, is that as you know, I'm a Bronco fan, and we'll talk about another reason why.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
I'm
why.
in Houston, so I have this in my house.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what this regime, the way it's built, how they're going to handle this. Last time they had a superstar that they were trading. They got the okie doke, they got the bag of magic beans. That's all I got. Yeah, but David Johnson, holy mackerel, man. Yeah, dude, just terrible. And that actually was the move that made me change to start rooting for the Broncos, which I think that I'm not going to be alone. I think it's not going to be so lonely up on this wagon.
No, hating the Texans is very popular.
No, I'm talking about on the Broncos side. But as far as I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. In fact, we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, it's already out there. Drew Lock is in Seattle, so I'm worried that they're going to trade him. They're going to trade him to Russell Wilson to Seattle for Drew Lock. That's what I'm worried about. Okay.
The Texans are going to get stuck with Drew Lock.
Dude, I mean, it's like that would be such a Texan thing to do.
That would be the most Texan thing to do.
Him and Chris Carson. Chris Carson and Drew Lock, for Deshaun Watson in like a third. That's what I can see what happens. So it's going to be open season. In fact, in the news as we talk, we're going to be talking about different quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterback movement, and so we'll actually now it was like hypotheses about if Deshaun Watson is going to be available. He will be available now. So let's just go ahead and move on. That was the news on Watson. He's going to now he's got the green light. Chances are he's going to go somewhere. I know that there was a lot of talk of you already know about the Seattle rumor. There's also the rumor of Miami. That Miami would want to look at him if he becomes available, and of course Carolina was one that was said that the same thing. But I don't know about Miami might have been that might have been the old coach thing. Okay, that might not have been the organization, but we'll see. Okay, all right. So let's go and move on to the biggest domino that fell. Okay, the biggest domino that fell and that started the chain reaction to everything that we're about to talk about. Okay, this was the big tree that caused the whole thing to go. Aaron Rodgers agreed to terms with the Packers on a 4-year, reportedly, it was a 4-year, $200 million deal. Reportedly, the first report, he gets $153 million guaranteed, and his cap number goes down. The reason why I keep saying reportedly, because Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, after the deal was announced, I think he might let it simmer for 30 minutes. I think he might have been polite enough to give you 30 minutes of excitement. And then he tweeted that, hang on now. I haven't signed a contract yet. Those numbers aren't final, but I'll be back with the Packers. But those numbers ain't final, so that's all minutia. He's coming back to the Packers. That was the big thing that happened. Of course, it's a no-brainer on both sides. It gives Aaron Rodgers, he gives the Packers their best chance to win. The Packers gives Rodgers his best chance to win. Also, he's comfortable there. He knows the playbook. But Connor, we've talked about this. We talked about this. What do you think? What's your thoughts about this signing? Just give it to me here. What's your thoughts on it?
It's interesting, because we talk a lot about Aaron Rodgers, but elephants in the room. Well, what about the other Aaron in the room? Aaron Jones. Now, it has been said that Aaron Jones is willing to take a pay cut, but
He did.
What that really that's not the big news.
Okay. I just want to say he did restructure his contract already.
No, yeah, that was all a gimmick, buddy. I think you missed it because it happened too fast. I have this little knife, and I did this.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Cut, and you missed all of it.
I totally was not looking at your screen. I was looking at my notes. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I'm looking at my phone, so it's not like I'm any better.
You were totally an ethereal voice at that point. I apologize. Sorry.
It's all good, but that was for you. It was a dad joke. Totally a dad joke.
Okay, do it again. I'm watching you. Do it again.
We're talking about elephants in the room. Let's talk about Aaron. It was said he was willing to take a pay cut to keep.
Okay. Got it.
Shoot the gap. No.
Okay.
We were bro. Thank you, bro.
No. I'm glad I watched it. I do need to spend more time looking at you, dude.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
No. You were telling me this. You brought up a great point. Aaron Rodgers, up until getting paid, he was the type of dude that he would go out there and he would ball his heart out. Dude, they had him on fucking horse tranquilizers. Remember the first game, the first season Khalil Mack was on the Bears and the Bears fucking beat up Rodgers. That was 2018. And Aaron Rodgers, literally, he went into the locker room, got on some horse tranquilizers and looked at all his teammates and said, do your jobs. Let me do the rest. And the rest is history. He won that game. And he put his body on the line game after game, won 2 MVPs, made the case, got paid. He ain't doing that no more. His toe gets injured, he heal it up. You best believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically, what Connor's talking about is that if you trail it back 3 years ago, before Jordan Love was drafted, Aaron Rodgers was doing so bad that the Packers decided that offseason to the first pick of the draft to I believe they moved up. Yeah, I think they traded up and they took Jordan Love, and they didn't even talk to Aaron Rodgers about that, right? So what that did was that upset Rodgers. Okay, so here he comes. He comes into the next season. So we're this was 2019. He comes in, right? Because that's the timeline works perfectly what you're talking about, and I guess it would be whatever 2 years ago. 2 years. That was what the 2019. Yeah, it worked out well, right? Is that right? Yeah, 2019 was whenever he was a punk or not doing well. Yeah, there we go. That's my notes. There we go. I'm back on my notes. Got it. Okay, I'm good. So in 2020, he comes in. Okay, he's mad because of the Jordan Love draft. He decided that he wanted to do everything he can to make Green Bay regret it, so he plays balls out MVP. The very next year, 2021, it's his contract year. Okay, so he balls out like Connor was talking about, playing on a broken toe, gets another MVP. Right now it's going to be a 4-year contract, dude. So 4-year, that basically means this is like it'd be the third year for Jordan Love. So this is whenever drafted QBs in the first round should be starting way by now. They should actually have had at least a year and a half maybe under their belt by now, but they should at least be starting. And so with the Packers going ahead and doing that, they're basically saying, hey, Aaron, we made a mistake doing Jordan Love. We're sorry. We love you. Here's all the money that we have in our pocket, right? Aaron Rodgers, he's like, cool. Yeah, all right. Okay, so y'all made a mistake? All right, man. I'm going to just chill back here with all this money. Yeah, cool. Just lean back.
He ain't doing nothing, man. He got paid.
Yeah. So I think he's going to revert back. So whenever you're planning your strategy, keep that in mind. Of course, it's so early. We don't even know what the ADP is on anybody. But he's probably going to get overdrafted, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, probably too many people are going to call this is Aaron Rodgers' season, and then
Oh yeah. He's coming back and blah, 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 and all that. Yeah, but speaking of which, leading to the next bit of news, the Packers, they went ahead as soon as they took care of Aaron Rodgers, or at least got him to agree to stay. They turned around and they franchise tagged Davante Adams. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the two again.
That was actually a really smart move on their part.
Yeah, but you're the one that whenever I talked to you about, I said, whenever you and I were texting back and forth, I mentioned that I felt that Davante Adams was the only first round wide receiver, and you said you made a very good point about his injury history, man. So is he really a first round wide receiver, Davante Adams, even though Rodgers is coming back?
The Packers are probably overpriced in general. If you look at how they want to win games, they don't want to score a bunch of points. They have to sometimes, but LaFleur is on that balanced offense bullshit.
Bullshit.
Well, look,
stupid balance.
Bullshit. Look, I don't know how else to say it. You got Sean McVay, all right? You got Sean McVay. Then you've got Zach Taylor. Then you've got Kyle Shanahan, or whatever the Shanahan that's running the Niners is. Then you've got Cliff Kingsbury. Then you've got Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, like, it frustrates me. It frustrates me watching him misuse Aaron Rodgers. Like, I know what he's probably... I'm sorry. I don't mean to get into a whole rant. I really liked the Packers' offense when Mike McCarthy was coaching them. It was fun football to watch. And I think they should have never gone away from that direction. I think that lends itself to Aaron Rodgers better.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good enough. So Davante Adams, what basically... Just keep an eye out. There might be better value someplace else. Like, you might be able to pick something better and get the same amount of production a round or two later, than whenever you would pick Aaron Rodgers or pick Davante Adams. So just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. The next bit of news, the thing that made me smile. Yeah, that made me just made me float. I just now started coming down. Yeah, I mean, from this news. My beloved Broncos are getting Russell Wilson. Announced on Tuesday, the Denver Broncos are trading Drew Lock, stud tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks. Okay, so the 2 first-round picks is going to be a 2022 9th overall, and then also a first round in 2023. Then they did 2 second-round picks, and the 2 second-round picks are 2022 40th overall, which is basically the 8th pick in this year's draft, and then also the second round for 2023. This is what Denver's given away, and also a 2022 5th round pick. Okay, and they received back Russell Wilson and a 2022 4th round pick. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the. Let's just, you know what, Connor. Last time we talked about this, I led the way. You lead the way this time. You lead the charge. You talk about either how it affects Seattle, how it affects the Broncos.
Sure, buddy, because this is your team. I don't want to take your team. I can talk about other stuff. I'll be more than happy to.
Okay, then you talk about Seattle, and I'll talk about Denver. How about that?
Hell
so talk
yeah.
about Seattle. How does that handle Seattle? Go ahead. How does it affect Seattle?
I don't think that they're gonna do better next year. But it probably was better in the long run, because we could all kind of tell that there was some difference in opinion between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, and in the end, that's generally not going to lead to a Super Bowl anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they after they announced the trade, that's whenever news came out that Russell Wilson was saying that Pete Carroll's system was damaging his legacy.
I read
so you're
that
not
too,
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, dude. You're not wrong about that. Yeah, so and he was visibly frustrated. Teammates were saying that he checked out. So, yeah, I think you're right. So, what is Pete Carroll's? You've watched Pete Carroll for a while. Okay, we all have. So, and I think we all know this answer, but I'm gonna let you do it, Connor. What is Pete Carroll's dream approach to the game of football? Like how the defense and the offense. What's his dream?
They run the ball 80 times, and they have a stellar smash mouth defense, as they always say on the Football Network. Smash mouth.
There you go. Yeah. So, and that's definitely not. That definitely was not what Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. Yeah. He was very limited. Yeah.
He was having a lot of fun being unlimited.
Yeah, at home. Not on the football field. But
Denver's a good place, with the thin air. Just get a little bit in there before you know it. Unlimited. He's forgetting all about his troubles in Washington.
Listen, that Mile High air is perfect for a 33-year-old and the long ball. So, dude, that ball's going to travel. I mean, he's going to be
saying Russell Wilson's balls are going to travel harder than they ever have before.
The footballs he's throwing. I have no idea
clarification. Nice.
I got the double entendre.
Instantly, he was like, "Don't put that shit on me, Ricky Bobby."
No, dude, no. I got the double entendre.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, very nice, but no. Yeah, so basically, let's talk about the Broncos. Let's talk about. Okay, so of course, it doesn't change the running game. Okay, either Javonte Williams or Melvin Gordon or both. We'll see what happens there. And Melvin Gordon said he wanted to stay. And of course, he'll probably take a pay cut now so he can stay in a situation, because he specifically said he wanted to win a championship in Denver. That's why he wanted to stay. Well, Russell Wilson coming in, it really does help those chances. And so we'll see what he does. My hope, as a fantasy football fan, I'm hoping that Seattle throws big money at Melvin Gordon and just makes him go to Seattle. As a Denver Bronco fan, it's better to have two horses, so, and it seemed to work real well, but
For fantasy, I want Javonte to be
dude, I want that so bad. I want that. I actually
talking about unlimited.
That's where, that's where my fandom, I think my fantasy football fandom is a little bit more than that, because dude, it's like almost even. All right, Melvin Gordon helps, but I just think they could use that money elsewhere. Beef up the defense, beef up the O-line, use that money somewhere else. Gordon's a luxury that you don't necessarily need because you had Javonte Williams. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for at the running game. Okay, we already mentioned about the tight end. That's going to be Fant's out, so now there's going to be more receptions for the wide receivers. But let's say, I was telling Connor this before, I'll say it again, man. We are in the Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods situation this year. Okay, we are. That's where we're at. This is the new situation where there's going to be a Cooper Kupp and there's going to be a Robert Woods, but which one is it going to be? So first thing you do is you always look at the past information. What your past is always the best predictor of future movements. Type of thing, right? So let's take a look. Okay, so we have Cortland Sutton. Okay, Cortland Sutton, he fits the mold of DK Metcalf. Large wide receiver who catches the majority of his catchable passes, right?
His hair isn't pink, but his jersey's orange, so it's close enough.
Jerry Jeudy matches the role a speedy receiver, that Tyler Lockett excelled in. Okay, so Jerry Jeudy is kind of almost like the Tyler Lockett, right? But there's Tim Patrick, and Tim Patrick mainly plays the slot. Now I know that Jerry Jeudy also plays the slot too, but Patrick normally plays the slot, and they're probably going to go with three wide receivers anyway, since they paid all three so much money. Why not use them when you have a stallion like Russell Wilson back there, right? And so the slot is where Wilson normally throws. So you have somebody that is kind of like Cortland Sutton or like Metcalf, if you saw Metcalf did okay, but now you always have to ask, in this situation, we just covered it, was that Pete Carroll's system that made Metcalf not do as well in the second half of the season? Or was it Wilson just preferring to throw to the slot? Let's just, for argument, let's just say it's for the slot thing, right? So that makes Cortland Sutton a little, right? Then we have Jerry Jeudy. Oh, he's like Tyler Lockett. But no, he doesn't really play the slot. Tim Patrick does. You see what I'm talking about? It's like, Finkel, Einhorn, Finkel,
Yeah, I'm gonna give a hot take. I think that Russell Wilson likes throwing to other wide receivers. I think it was Pete Carroll's system because remember a couple years ago he was bragging about the moon ball.
Yeah,
You don't throw moon balls to slot wide receivers.
you're right. Those are possession. Those are short. You got it.
You don't nickname a throw that you like to do if you don't like throwing to that type of wide receiver.
So who do you think would catch the moon ball then?
I think that all three of those guys can catch the moon ball because they're all three fast. Look, I'll be honest. I think it's Jerry Jeudy. I think it's Jerry Jeudy because out of those three guys, he's the most complete package. He has the hands, the route running. He can build a connection fast with the quarterback. We talked about this. You brought up the great point. Cooper Kupp got breakfast with Matty Stafford every day, and he developed that connection. So really the question we should be asking is which wide receiver is going to mind meld with Russell Wilson?
I think Cortland Sutton would be more apt. No, actually Tim Patrick.
You think Tim Patrick?
Yeah, because Tim Patrick, dude, that guy came out of nowhere. And just started doing really well. He had to fight his way. Cortland Sutton's already a superstar, but he's also oft injured, so you have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm passing him up, because he's gotten paid and he's injured, so he's just trying to stay healthy.
Jerry Jeudy, now this is his prove-it year. This is his third year. Okay, this is when wide receivers should be pumping. I know that. Yeah, I know that. But still, this is whatever he needs to prove it. So if I had to choose one, I would be with Connor and go with Jerry Jeudy. But it's probably going to be Tim Patrick. Yeah.
Now, that's big news because you were a Jerry Jeudy guy back when I was a Cortland Sutton guy, so I respect your opinions on this matter. I believe that you have more of a heartbeat on it than I do. So fans, listen to that. Listen to Brian's words on that.
Yay! And Albert Aquad-Bunham. Yeah, dude, that guy, Albert O is just a big target. So he should be somewhat valuable, especially with how the tight end landscape is. We mainly talk about 10-man leagues here, but if you have a deeper league, and Albert O is going to be a really good, a serviceable tight end. I think you'll be really happy with him. So basically it's an up. It's an up for Jerry Jeudy, up for Sutton, up for Patrick. Melvin Gordon leaving would be the only reason why it'd be up for Williams, up for Albert O, down for DK Metcalf, down for Tyler Lockett. All right, there's talk that they're trying to trade Tyler Lockett, but remember he just signed an extension this past season, so that's going to make him really hard to trade, especially at his age. So that might be a little.
Yeah, and I think DK's safe because he can block, and Carroll likes that.
Yeah, but this is where we were talking about on our first bit of news, where it looks like where Deshaun Watson, I think this would be the preferred place for all of us to see Deshaun Watson go. This would be his best chance to win. Now, I don't know. He has a history of bucking up against the coach if he doesn't like the philosophy. So there might be some friction there. Once I think
Watson would like the system.
Okay. Well, he's gonna be very limited. Okay.
Do you know what offense was more limited than the Seahawks?
Don't you say this? Nah, wrong. Boo, no.
No, they did not throw the ball more than, when they would throw the ball, their plays would be bad. That was the Texans' problem, was Bill O'Brien couldn't write up a play to save his life. He was always trying to do this long developing stuff when he had a shitty offensive line. Pete Carroll at least knows to throw the play action.
For fantasy purposes, Deshaun Watson was still a good quarterback the last year he played, and then Brandon Cooks, well, if I remember correctly, he did pretty well. So I think that's
all true, but Deshaun Watson did not sustain two wide receivers to the capacity that Russell Wilson did. Also, Deshaun Watson is a better rusher, in my opinion, than Wilson, which makes him a better quarterback in Seattle than Wilson. Because he has the throwing acumen, he can do the long ball, he can do all that, and he can run more.
Did Deshaun Watson have do you think that whenever he was playing before all this mess, that he had the okay to make changes to the play and to do what he felt was the right thing to do in the moment? here in Houston.
Not in all situations. No.
You don't think he did?
No.
I would argue against that. I think he absolutely did. I think they gave him the keys and they let him go, especially since he played with like first-time coaches and things of that sort, right? So they let him do. I mean, dude, he was doing incredible plays, and he was always creating, always throwing, and so he's not. I don't think he's going to have that freedom in Seattle. So that's the problem I think is going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, we're talking about he might if he goes there, but I think that is his best place, best chance to be most successful is there. So I agree with you on that. On Wednesday, the Indianapolis Colts traded Carson Wentz and a 2022 second-round pick to the Washington Commanders for a 2022 second-round pick, a 2022 third-round pick, and a 2023 third-round pick that escalates to a second-rounder if Carson Wentz, if Carson plays 70% of snaps next year. The Commanders also agreed to pay Wentz's full $28 million salary for 2022, and that also includes a $5 million roster bonus due next week. And of course, simple math says that move saves Indy $28 million next season. All right, so win-win-win. And on the Indy side, do you agree? Or who won that trade, I should say? Yeah, I shouldn't put words in your mouth, Connor.
I think that the Colts won.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Even though that they have, I mean, right now, This is their starting quarterback right now. 6th round pick Sam Ehlinger.
Sam
Ehlinger. No, it's Ehlinger.
Yep.
Oh man,
I know that because he played for UT.
Ehlinger would have been cooler. Oh man, I was trying to make you sound cooler, Sam. Sorry, brother. Sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your heritage. Ehlinger. Or former 4th round pick James Morgan, who sounds kind of like a banker. Okay, right. So you need some stocks. Go to James Morgan. So that's who they have right now. So it doesn't sound like that they're going that even though that's who they have. Okay, that's as their quarterback. I still think they're in a better situation. Look, Carson Wentz fell out of favor towards the end of the year. I mean, he could not even bring the Colts to beat the Jaguars to get into the playoffs last year. So of course he was going to leave. Right, so they had no bargaining power. Everybody knew that Carson Wentz was, if they didn't get traded, he was going to get cut. Everybody knew that. So for them to get what I just told you that they got, that they got the 2022 second round pick, 2023 third round pick, that could be a second rounder. Dude, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Good job on Colts. I agree with you, man. I think the Commanders are getting the okie doke. I think they're getting a little bit of pie rot. You know, they're getting what Indy thought that they got last year too.
They love pie rot.
Yeah, so but I do think one of the winners is I know that all the analysis I've heard on this was exactly opposite of what I'm saying, but I really do feel that Antonio Gibson is a huge winner in this. Okay, Wentz loves to dump the ball off to running backs, especially under pressure. And dude, Indy's O-line is better than the Commanders since last season. Indy allowed 32 sacks last season, and the Commanders, they allowed 43. Yeah, simple math, 43 bigger than 32. Okay, so yeah, but I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be they're going to go back to Heineke. It's going to be Commander Heineke time.
Oh,
and I think
he sucks.
Let me ask you, Connor. Do you think that he's going to play? Commander Carson's going to play 70% of the snaps next year?
No.
Okay.
I think he's going to get injured by the 7th game of the season.
Yeah. So as far as the wide receivers, that are there. Scary Terry. I mean, he's still scary.
Still scary.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying he's scary. He's like, I'm scared of him because of Carson Wentz. Okay, so I mean, how many times did he throw a pick on the goal line? Carson Wentz last year. Yeah, Colts Wentz. Yeah, or Colts Carson. Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. But again, like I was alluding to, I don't think the Colts are done. So that's this is what I'm going to do. Let's do this again, dude. All right. Well, he and I went through this once before, and it was kind of fun. So we're going to do it again for this show. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to mention some QBs, okay, who are reportedly on the trading block, and Connor will tell me how far that they will go. Okay, well, they'll take Indy. Okay, playoffs, not even to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, to the championship, things of that sort. Okay. So, and dude, okay, just for 100% clarity, these are the ones when I did research on the QBs that are reportedly on the trading block. These are the ones. Okay, not saying that I'm saying any of these guys should go there. Okay, I'm just saying these are the ones there. So, did that clear that up, Connor? Did I do that good job on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Let's get started. Okay, so. Let's say they trade all that wealth that they just got from the Commanders, that they trade it for Derek Carr. Where do you think that takes Indy?
I think that takes them to maybe the championship game. They could, you know what? I'm going to answer this differently than I answered this yesterday, because I think I didn't say they'd make it to a Super Bowl yesterday, but I think they could make it to a Super Bowl. Potentially. Okay. If they beef up the defense a little, the wide receiver core stays healthy, Derek Carr can make it happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to say, hey, look at that monster over there. Let me just hand him the ball and let him run it. Okay. Yeah. Or, hey, monster, get out in the open and I'll just dump it to you. Okay. How about that, monster? Take the ball.
Well, no, yeah, and he can throw the ball to Jonathan Taylor. He has a great offensive line. If you put Carr behind a great line, I mean, Jared Goff made it to a Super Bowl behind a great line. Jared Goff's arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL. So imagine what Derek Carr could do with the Indianapolis Colts. I love this. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, it's Derek Carr has the arm and the ability to make the defense respect the passing game.
He almost beat the Bengals.
Yeah, right. Kirk Cousins.
He could get them to the championship game.
Yeah, he's about the same as Derek Carr, I think.
He's not. I think Derek Carr is a little more clutch.
Okay.
A little more diverse in his throws
don't like
that he can make.
You don't like that, huh? You don't like that.
What Christian Kirk?
No, Kirk Cousins, dude. That was the big famous quote from Kirk Cousins. You like that? You like that? Whenever he played for the then Washington Redskins. Yeah, that's how long ago he played for. Jimmy G, Garoppolo. What if he goes there?
He could.
I think it's the most likely scenario. I think that's the one.
He could take them to the Super Bowl, but they lose.
But he would look good doing it.
He would look very good doing it. He'd look better losing than anyone else.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I think he has to be good. He's so good looking.
That's exactly what San Francisco said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dated a porn star. He has to
be. Yeah, right. Yeah, since nobody can get with a porn star, right? They're the hardest ones to get in bed. Terrible philosophy. Okay, moving on. This is again on the trading block. Jordan Love.
Apparently, he is not loved.
No. So, what do you think? If he went to the Colts, what do you think would happen? Okay. Teddy Bridgewater.
First round exit at best.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. If he's even makes a whole season.
Actually, no. Second round exit.
Okay.
But he's exiting. He's not winning. He ain't winning shit.
Okay. Okay, Jameis Winston.
I mean, I'll tell you the same thing I told you yesterday. He'd get you 4 for 5 crab legs.
Okay, what would you do on the football field? That's fantastic, and that'll make the O-line really happy.
He would
so
throw.
obviously,
He would throw 60 touchdowns and 60 interceptions. That's what he'd do.
In one game. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No. And then, of course, Deshaun Watson, if he went there.
Super Bowl.
All right. Here's some not so fun news out of Hotlanta. The NFL suspended wide receiver Calvin Ridley for at least, let me emphasize that again, at least the 2022 season due to Ridley betting on games after he stepped away from the team last season. So, Connor, and now there's not going to be Ridley on the field for the Falcons. Where do they go from here?
I think that you build the offense around Kyle Pitts, obviously.
Okay. Yep.
And if I was them, I would keep doing what I was doing with Patterson because that seemed to work, but I don't think they're going to do that. And
they stopped using him as a running back towards the end of the season. He was more of a pass catching, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sad. But
Okay. All right. So when you say build around Kyle Pitts, okay. So they make him, apparently that's the obvious implication is that Kyle Pitts will be the number one.
You could trade Matt Ryan. You could trade Matt Ryan to a team like the Colts.
Is that what, okay? Yeah, let's talk about that. Should they do that? Should they at this point? Should they just rip it down to the studs? Basically, just like get what they can get for what they got, and which means getting rid of Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I respect him for wanting to stay in Atlanta, but I think he's at the point where like you probably got 2-3 years left. Take a chance, buddy. Go on the Colts, go on the Cardinals, go on the Niners.
Go on the tour. This is where you start collecting your jerseys for your wall. Yeah, it's for your wall where you have all your jerseys. This is when you start adding them on.
You deserve it, buddy. Everyone wants to see you win one.
Well, I don't know. Well,
except for Tom Brady.
Yeah. So,
he knows that you need to work hard and cast a spell.
Okay, Matt Ryan on the Colts. Dude, what would happen?
Super Bowl.
Okay. So maybe that's what they should do. Is go ahead and trade him. What they will probably do is they'll probably bullheadedly keep everything and go after like Cole Beasley because he's going to be a free agent, or Allen Robinson. I could definitely see him do that. Just a little blurb there. I
think Cole Beasley's going to end up on the Patriots.
It makes
he was
sense.
Made for that role.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. Absolutely. And if he did that, that would be really exciting because that would be like that sneaky guy you'd be like Hunter Renfrow last year. Yeah, where he probably maybe won't like pay off at the beginning, but towards the middle to the end, he's gonna get you into the championship game.
You thought, guys, I think we're actually getting a call from Bill Belichick.
Oh, jeez.
You thought my secret was Tom Brady. All along, my secret was little white boy wide receivers. They're so small, they elude the coverage.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill. It's always nice for you to chime in. Thank you.
Fuck you. My hoodie is short.
Get some sleeves, big man. All right. So, okay. So, all right. So, yeah. So, I think that the fact of them not getting Ridley is actually kind of a good thing. Because of the fact that he now they know they're not going to have him. I mentioned this last time that it was just on the Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian show yesterday that dude, this is it's almost nonsense as to why he's getting suspended because he bet on the games after he stepped away from the team last season. Okay, so he was not even in the locker room. He did not know the game plan. He didn't know anything. He was working on his own personal stuff and was like, you know what, I'm not doing this, or I'm not playing NFL. In his mind, I'm not playing NFL anymore. So he does it, but it's the whole strict that he's still an employee of the NFL. So there you go on that. So let's talk about Allen Robinson. Okay, I blurbed on it a little bit. So the two things happened. Two things happened with the Bears. Okay, two things happened with the Bears. All right, so the first one is that they're going to let Allen Robinson the third walk, which is I don't know if it was Matt Nagy or if it was Justin Fields or both, but dude, somewhere they just forgot that guy suited up and was out there. So, he's 28 years old, so he's not an old dude, and he's only 1 year removed from a 1,000+ yard season. So, I think in the right atmosphere, I think he could probably do a really, really good job. Okay, I really do. I really do. Actually, there's three things about the Chicago Bears. Now look at my notes. Anything you want to talk about that information? The Allen Robinson the third. Where would you like Allen Robinson to go, real quick, Connor?
Where would I like Allen Robinson to go? Probably the Dolphins.
Yeah, that would be a good spot.
A lot of people are saying Amari Cooper to the Dolphins, but I think that Allen Robinson's better than Amari Cooper, and I like the Dolphins, so I'd rather see Allen Robinson there.
Yeah. The Dolphins is a weird one because they have Devontae Parker and they also have Waddle, so they're kind of set.
Parker can't stay healthy. Parker can't stay healthy, but he's paid. That's the problem. Waddle's coming into his second year. He's already the alpha. I already have written down draft Waddle 2022.
Yeah,
I know you like Devontae Parker, and you think a little differently.
I did last year. No, but he's a year older, and he was old last year. Okay, so yeah, Waddle would be the wide receiver to own or to manage in Miami in South Beach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but I think that he's probably going to go someplace like Tampa Bay. I can see them trying to do that. I can see the Patriots. The Patriots try to go and get him, because they need a big wide receiver, so I can see that. So he there's a chance that he could land somewhere good. If he does, then that could be some really good value, especially how low he'll probably go in fantasy drafts in 5-6 months. Also, Chicago, they released Tariq Cohen after he failed his physical stemming from the 2020 knee injury. So it's going to be the same group as last year. David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, and Damian Williams. So nothing has changed there. But what has changed was Khalil Mack being traded to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now that gave Connor, whenever he first heard that, yeah, he wasn't happy about that.
Not at all.
So you still how you feel? Because we broke that on the show last the Drive Time Sports show yesterday. So what do you think? Okay, now that you had time to let it absorb, what do you think?
I still think their defense is awesome coming into the season, and I still think that the AFC West is going to have the best divisional games in the AFC.
See, that's the problem. Okay, that's one thing that you got to think about with the Chargers defense. Okay, and let's just go and complete the thought here. The Chargers sent over a 2022 second-round draft pick and a 2023 sixth-round draft pick for him, and that's it.
They're going all in.
Yeah, well, that's like you said on the show yesterday. That's nothing. It's nothing. He should have gone. Yeah, that like why did he only go to the Chargers is weird. But the Chargers, they have to go against Pat Mahomes now. And they also have to go against Russell Wilson. Okay, so that in itself, and
a Raiders team that made the playoffs last
year. That's right, Derek Carr, right? So that Chargers defense, even though it sounds like they're really beefed up.
No, what this is an all-in move because they paid Mike Williams, they got Khalil Mack, so they got a good 3, probably I guess maybe 2 to 3 years being realistic. Before they have to pay Justin Herbert or anything like that. Keenan Allen's already paid, so they have Eckler's already paid, so they have all the superstars.
Yeah,
this is their all-in move.
With staying with the Chargers, man, they re-signed Mike Williams to a 3-year, $60 million contract extension. Yeah. What do you think, dude? Do you think that was a good move out there in La La Land?
Yes, because they did that to sell tickets. We talked about this yesterday on. High Volume Music Radio on the Drive Time with Brian and Charlie. I pointed out the very good fact that besides Nick Bosa, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and I don't know, I guess now Khalil Mack and Eckler, the most popular player for the Chargers is Mike Williams. So keeping him, that pleases the fans. They like to see the man get paid, and it's going to help sell some tickets next year.
I think I have the opposite view. I think it's a mistake, okay, for that price. Okay, he has a problem with staying healthy, Mike Williams, and he is now going to be 28 next season. Okay, like we talked about with Robinson, it's not too old, but dude, after all those injuries, he has not played a full season since 2016. Josh Palmer, okay, who's still on his rookie deal, okay, he filled in really well for Mike Williams last year. So the signing doesn't change anything for LA. Okay, last season Mike Williams was the red zone receiver and Keenan Allen was the high reception receiver. Okay, there's no reason to think that's going to change. Okay, so I'm just saying that I think that they should have used that money on something else because Josh Palmer was doing just as well, and you have this guy that is always getting injured. 3 years, $60 million.
A lot of money.
Yes, that is. So I think it's a mistake. That's my opinion. But I agree with Connor. I mean, as far as like how they're doing it, when he was on the field at the beginning of the season, he did really well. He came back on the field at the end of the season and he was poo. So we'll see what it is. Was it beginning of the season Mike Williams or poo? Mike Williams. We'll see what they get.
Yeah.
Speaking of injured receivers, Chris Godwin.
Nice.
He got placed on the franchise tag for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they were unable to come to a long-term agreement. The tag keeps him in Tampa, and reportedly, the team wants to continue to try to sign him to a longer deal. But who's going to be throwing on the ball? It's not going to be... Okay, right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be Tom Brady. But we already talked about that Tom Brady is probably going to be coming back. But let me ask you, Connor. If Tom Brady comes back, do you think he's going to be coming back as a Buccaneer?
No, I think he's going to go to the Niners.
So is that the hot take then? Is it going to be a trade, Brady for Garoppolo?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I could see Brady doing that because I don't think he likes Garoppolo either.
Yeah, 49ers. Well, no, dude. No, I mean, he was under. I mean, I don't think he would want to go back into that same situation. He wasn't too long ago that he was the starter in New England, and Garoppolo was the backup. That wasn't not too far away. Not so long ago. But the reason why we're talking about San Francisco is because Tom Brady has come out and said that he started his childhood as a 49ers fan, and he would love to end his career as a 49ers. That's why he said
Kissing
that.
his son and dad on the mouth.
Well, I mean, at least, that's showing some affection. There's some fathers that don't.
Gets an altar ready, and sacrifices a goat.
It's only creepy if you use your tongue. Okay. Let's talk about the Cowboys real quick. Okay, so the Cowboys, like we alluded to, or Connor alluded to a little bit, was that he was stating that about Amari Cooper going to, I think you said, to the Dolphins, but
because they said originally they were going to trade Amari Cooper, but it sounds like now they're just going to cut him.
Well, no, it was the other way around. First they said they were going to cut him, and now they're saying they're trying to trade him. But either which way, it doesn't look like he's going to be on the team because right now they're over the cap. All right, and this move would save them $15 million. Now,
cut me deep, Brian. Cut me deep.
Okay, I got that time. Yeah. So, Connor, you said yesterday that you said that the person that was going to benefit the most was CeeDee Lamb. Do you still think that?
Yes, sir. Actually, no, because they got rid of that other tight end, so now it's the Dalton Schultz show. Yeah,
they cut just today. Dallas cut Greg Zuerlein, and they also cut Blake Jarwin. So that's what he's alluding to, is that now it's just Dalton Schultz. So yes, Dalton Schultz is going to be a fantastic tight end option next year. I was saying on the show that whenever Connor was saying CeeDee Lamb was going to be the bigger beneficiary, I was saying it was going to be Dalton Schultz. That's before the news about Blake Jarwin getting cut. Now that he's cut, it's even more so, enough to where Connor changed his mind. So, yeah, again, Connor won two rings, okay, in 2018, 2019. I won 2020, and then this past season, 2021. So you're talking about, 4 years of winning here. Okay, this is what we're sharing with y'all. Okay, so if Connor's like, I think that now we should go Dalton Schultz, you might want to think about that. It might be some good advice there. Jamison Crowder reportedly isn't re-signing with the Jets, so he'll be another free agent out there. So that's just throwing that out there real quick. New Orleans Saints. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. Dang it. I was hoping so much. One of my off-season wishes was that New Orleans was going to free Alvin Kamara. They were going to send him to either to Seattle. That's what I was talking about, or even Carolina. Okay, that would have been a lot better situation than he is in right now. He's in a terrible spot right now. But New Orleans, the Saints, they converted $10.465 million of Alvin Kamara's 2022 salary into a signing bonus to free up $8.372 million in cap space. They are still above the cap, but are trying to get under in time for the NFL free agency starting next week. In other words, he's still going to be a Saint. And everything I read about this, Connor, they said, don't worry, Alvin Kamara is still going to be an elite option next year for fantasy. Do you agree with that statement, Connor?
No, and you know why?
Why?
Voldemort!
Yep. Yep. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Taysom Hill. If you watched my show, if you watched the last episode of Shoot the Gap, we were talking about Alvin Kamara getting arrested, and my joke was, I bet he looked like Taysom Hill. The guy he hit looked like Taysom Hill. Because that guy's killed. You want to talk about damaging legacies? That's damaging legacy. Kamara staying in New Orleans could keep him out from going to Cooperstown, in my opinion, because it's going to cut down on his yards. It's going to cut down on definitely going to cut down on his first downs. Definitely going to cut down on his touchdowns. And I believe Mark Ingram is still going to be there. So think about what he was last season. Were you happy if you managed Kamara last year? Were you happy with him? I had him last year. I didn't make it to the championship. Okay, so in one league. Yeah, so because of that, I would have had a stacked team, but Kamara pooped on me. Okay, so yeah, I'm worried about Kamara. I'm really worried about Kamara. If he's there like in the third round, I might give him a peek.
Yeah, but that's so much different than where you used to get him.
First half of the first round last year. Yeah, not even a problem. Other recipients of the franchise tag are Miami's tight end Mike Gesicki, Dallas's tight end Dalton Schultz. We just talked about him, confirming everything we just talked about. Kansas City offensive tackle Orlando Brown, Cincinnati safety Jesse Bates III, Browns tight end David Njoku, and let's see here. The last bit of news I got. The last bit of news is the NFL they set the 2022 salary cap total at $208.2 million, which basically is an increase of $25.7 million from last season, and the Saints are still over it. So that tells you where they're at. And the Cowboys are still over it too. Yeah, so they got some work to do so they can just even sign their draft picks. Okay, so all right, man. Is there anything I missed out? Anything you missed out that you might want to talk about?
No, sir. I think we did a real good job covering all of our bases, and we made it in just under an hour. So let's land this shit.
Yeah, let's land it. Let's land the show. Let's land it. Yeah, we get in there. Okay, so we want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure, please, hit the like and subscribe button, please. I mean, we really appreciate it. Let us know that you're out there, you're loving the show. Also, we're only doing shows in the off season whenever pertinent information pops. So unlike other shows where they do weekly or sometimes twice a week, fantasy shows, and everything starts getting mixed up in minutia. Whenever you see us come out, when you see one of our shows come out, something happened. Okay, this is something you need to pay attention to because it's going to help you plan for and strategize for your draft next season. Of course, we want to thank our supporters, Sports Host app and High Volume Music Radio. make sure to check out Connor's book. You know too much. Yeah, I mean, we can't recommend that enough. You know, it's available on all platforms, so make sure to check that out. And also, Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian every Thursday from 4 to 6 on High Volume Music Radio. So make sure to check that out. On behalf of Connor, the Gut Marshal, and me, your humble MC, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, want to thank you for watching. And we hope that this year's an even better year than last year. And so, time for some parting shots. Got any parting shots, Connor?
Yeah, try to remember the NFL season, how you watched it last year, not how all the shows regurgitate the stats to you. Because when they say things like, oh, such and such player finished as the such and such running back, you get terrible arguments, like people telling you to draft Ezekiel Elliott. So just, you know, do better. Do better. do your own research.
Do better. Okay. My parting shot, nice and simple. Look, everybody. I just said it earlier in the show. Free agency starts next week. Pay attention. We're going to see some moving of players. We're going to see some players where some players are going to get they're going to get better because a competition's not going to be there that was there before. We're going to see some players get a little knocked down because here comes some big dogs to take some of their targets. Okay, so and that also means you'll probably be seeing more of us more sooner than later. You know, so because as soon as stuff whenever these signings start happening, we're going to talk about them because we want to get you guys involved, or up to date, and make sure that you can get our opinions to help you make an educated decision on your strategies. All right, Connor, that's it, man. That'll do it for our 108th show. Again, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, and watching. That's always a good thing. Thank you for watching and for listening. And remember, everybody, in fantasy football, as in life,
don't dream it. Be it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys stay safe out there. It's crazy.